they hit up Joe and was like, yo, we coming in, but like you gotta show us the numbers type shit. So they did shit, they not showing up again. And Joe got mad, was like, nah, it's over. Y'all breach your contracts. Like he said, Rory, you fired. Nah, there was little things I saw. Like they said, like Rory didn't like how Joe would play R&B during the podcast. And Joe's like, it's my podcast. Like, get your own. Like the fuck. So it just seemed like once the academics beef started picking up, Rory started to try to like demand a little bit more. Like, oh, this is like, let me get more of this. Let me get, we should get paid more. Oh, I want to get some ownership in this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And Joe was getting mad. He was like, yo, like he offered them because Rory wanted some of the YouTube money. Joe was like, no, I'm paying y'all. And Rory, like Joe offered him was like, hey, you can start your own YouTube page and I'll let you have the footage from this. But Rory and Maul both had that offer and they never did it. They never took that.
That don't make sense.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait, you mean for Joe to offer that? Because that's hella generous. That's hella generous.
Yes, but nigga, I'm on this shit. What you
Yeah.
mean I can't have footage that I'm in?
No, if
That sounds crazy.
paying for people to film and they're under contract, that's Joe's footage.
Yeah, but I'm in it.
No,
I'm
okay.
using that shit.
Yeah, he's paying you to
Fuck
be in it.
you.
He's paying you to be in it. You
Fuck
signed a
you.
contract.
But was they gonna pay that first?
I don't know that they signed. Joe is paying them as workers. So you can't say, "Oh,
Okay.
that's my okay," but okay. On top of that,
Wait,
let
wait.
me, let me. Joe is giving them access to the thing, so they could use it. They didn't use it.
All
They
right.
didn't use
So
it.
here's the thing, right? Let's say this, okay? Me and you both have separate YouTube page. We both put up the same fucking videos. You think really
If it's my camera and everything, I have to give you permission to use my footage.
what I'm saying? No, you're not getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is why the fuck would you triple up on something instead of just doing it one time?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, stupid, but at the same time, it's
That
like, dude,
makes logical sense.
he offered Rory the chance. Say, here, you can have your own page with the same footage. Rory didn't take it.
And then my thing would be like, why the fuck would I do that when
If you want the
all
YouTube
of that
money,
shit
if you want the YouTube money, so
just
don't
still
ask
don't
for the
make
YouTube
sense?
money then. It's Joe's page. Joe is paying you to be on his page. If you want to make your own page,
Revenue.
he's giving you the option, but he didn't take it. Rory was still behind closed doors. Rory was very vocal to Joe about being friends with academics, and Joe's like, "Get the hell away from me!" Like whatever. So Joe actually asked Rory, "Did you really go to this man's house? Because y'all can say whatever y'all want to about Act. I know he wouldn't lie about something like that." So Rory said, "I didn't send anybody to his house," and they're replying, "Oh, so Rory went to the house." And this was during their Spotify negotiations. So Joe got mad because as an ex-rapper podcast, that is bad. That's a bad look. So for negotiation deals, they're gonna all be like, oh, like the rappers beef, it's gonna be like jail time and all that shit. You trying to avoid all that shit. So he's like, nah, like you almost fucked up a bag for us during the negotiations, doing that dumb shit. So when Ack would go at Rory, Joe was like, nah, like we ain't cause you fucked up. You shouldn't have did that shit. And Rory knew, like, you shouldn't have did that shit. And then on top of that, Academics called out. He said when after this shit happened, Rory actually tweeted academic zip code, trying to like further the thing, like, yeah, it was me. So it's like dummy. Like now everyone knows if something happens, it was you. So that's why like Joe, so that's why Joe was like, nah, we not talking to the podcast because that's stupid. And like you're an idiot for that shit.
Let the man vent it out.
Nah, I don't blame Joe one bit for that. Cause like I said, he's being stupid.
Bro, it's a thin line between you can't just let somebody just bottle in their shit and just publicly keep getting shit talked about them and just keep quiet.
When it's your fault. When it's your
Uh,
fault.
when it's your fault.
When
I
it's your
mean,
fault.
either way,
If you do something stupid, you get caught and people are shitting on you for it. You should like, nah, like don't come on my platform for this. Make your own YouTube page and talk about it on your own YouTube page. It was just a valid.
I'm just saying that doesn't make sense because if that would have fucked up the bad, then the abuse allegations, the fucking touching dogs and molesting them with
It's
a
Joe's
kid,
podcast.
But I'm saying if that didn't fuck it up, so what was that? Why would that fuck it up?
It's Joe's podcast. If he's gonna fuck up
Beef,
the bag, if he's gonna fuck up the bag, that's his podcast. He can fuck it up. He's not having
beef.
Rory fuck it
No
up.
matter what anybody say, beef make clickbait. Beef make
Yeah, it
songs.
makes
Beef
clickbait. We're
makes
talking about
everything.
negotiation. We're talking about
Yeah,
negotiation. This isn't about clickbait. This is about
yeah, but
negotiation.
yeah, but if if they're not hip to it, which most of these fucking niggas don't know what the fuck going on anyways in the fucking culture, they'll
Okay.
be like, oh shit, they getting a shitload of views now. I wonder why.
No, it's not. They're gonna think that, oh, well, this is all gonna end in a snap of a finger if just someone gets arrested or someone gets shot or something like that. Because that's gonna be the media escalation. They're gonna be like, oh, y'all getting in a beef like this. Like, what can happen? What can happen? So it's like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
is if you're Joe, I'm like, I'm not letting someone else mess up the bag. If I mess it up, I mess it up. Someone else, like, nah, like y'all don't mess up the bag that is cut. No, hell nah. Joe, the only thing I thought Joe when Joe said the thing about when they met Roy, because I'm like, Joe, I think you sort of like, you
Bro,
being a
that
little
phone,
extra with it, but still everything else, Joe does, he is right once you hear his side.
I don't care, but as a man and as a like person, like if we're friends and you got beef with me or you got something to say to me, nigga.
But that's Roy then. Do you know? All right, so
I'm talking
for
about both sides.
no, no,
Like
no.
both
So
sides.
for furthering this, Joe found out Rory was popping off because Rory actually, so pretty much Joe was on YouTube and he was seeing a lot of clips that people were clipping from Academic stream. So Joe called Academics and he was like, yo, like I said, I don't know you to be a liar. Where are you getting this from? He says the people Rory are crying to are actually cool with Ack. So they're actually coming back to Ack saying, like, yo, Rory talking real spicy about Joe. Rory saying all this. So that was actually Rory who started that. So Joe's like, oh, okay. And then apparently the somebody in Maul's camp actually reached out to academics. It said they weren't coming in. So I don't know who the hell they keep close to them, but that's on their camps because like Joe seemed to be the one like, yo, I'm trying to run a business, which is odd considering like the complex thing and the Spotify thing. But Joe's like, nah, I'm running this as a business now.
Yeah, and that business is gonna keep running to the ground if you keep doing this shit. And I bet
Uh,
you, I'm telling you this in a couple years, he's gonna have a fallout with Ish and the other dude
no,
again.
it's not. You know
He's
what?
gonna yes.
I think what it is, the main issue I have with this, Rory and Maul clearly just got on this thing where we're all friends, we're doing this together. That's all this was. We're all friends, we're doing this together. Joe's like, no, I'm here to make money. That's the disconnect. If everyone else in the future understands that, it's not going to happen again.
But still you have money involved. And there's always gonna be that one person that step out of line, even though, you know what I'm saying, even though
Mm.
it's about money, to make more money, they're gonna step out of line.
The issue was when they actually did the contracts, it was obviously when the show wasn't as big as it was. So Rory and Maul is still under contract, and Rory's saying like he want more money, he want ownership stuff, he want this, and Joe's like, you're under contract. Like you have to
Contract
wait till your contract's
negotiation.
up. Yeah, when the contract's up, you're under contract. And he said at the
Contract
thing,
extension.
what's the dude? What's Joe's dude? Was it Ian or whatever? The guy's name Ian. They were
Yeah.
like, dude, it's like what happened was they wanted us to give them the money based on projections, and it's like this is new to us. We can't really project what's going on. So they gave them a number based on projections, and they agreed on it.
But and again,
You signed a contract.
that's not my biggest thing is not that though. My biggest thing is like I told you, like if you're like I said, like if your man's fucking up publicly and it's hurting your image, like the 6ix9ine joint, if 6ix9ine fucking up publicly and hurting your image, and you talk to him privately and it doesn't work, then you address it publicly, right?
I don't agree with that, but go ahead. I don't agree with that, but
Why?
if your man is fucking up publicly and you talk to him and he doesn't listen, I'm gonna just let him keep going. Like you, all right, fine. Like what? I don't.
But it's
I'm not
still gonna
gonna
hurt
say
your
something.
brand.
I'm not gonna say something publicly. I'm like, nah.
Okay, then. So you just proved my point. Why is
Well,
Joe making this public?
No, because he's tired of everyone looking at him saying, like, oh, he fucked up the bag. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's a bad friend. Oh, he's this. It's like, no. He said Rory's being a manipulative little whatever and saying all this shit. So he says, no, I'm gonna like defend myself. Don't keep coming for me. That has nothing to do with your friend
We
who's like messing up in public. This is something like
we
Joe's defending his name.
we seen this shit. I mean, we seen this shit before, and it's gonna happen the same way. I give it another couple weeks, and then Joe can be like, "Yo, I was tripping. I was wrong."
He wasn't wrong though.
But he
He
gonna say
wasn't
that shit.
wrong. They came back. It was
I
all
think he's
good.
wrong.
They came back. It was all good. And then once again, it
No, it
starts with,
wasn't.
oh, well, okay, yeah. Okay, they came back. It was all good. But we, like I said, we know we did videos on it. We
No, it
know.
was not.
But
It
they
was not
they came
all
back like,
good.
oh, we talked, we did this, we did that, and
They
then
did not talk.
okay, but you come back on the show saying that okay, yeah, it's cool now. We could sense it wasn't, but they come back saying it's cool now. Like, but now
Joe
all of a sudden you want to
obviously
do it
like
again? Like, okay, bye, bye,
Joe. I was like,
bye.
y'all need to stop playing and come back. Like da da da. Or something happened. They was like, all right, cool. We gonna give this shit another shot.
Now,
But
so the thing is, so when they did negotiations, instead of doing a number, they should have did a percentage. Say we get this percentage, because their stories like Joe's obviously going to say, "Nah, this is my thing. I want the most percentage, whatever." What he should is like, "Hey, we each get 25%, you get 50%." Even though I know it's not going to work that number because you got other stuff to pay for, but it's just something like that. Where that's what they should have did. They shouldn't have asked for a number. So that's where they messed up at. But like I said, that isn't on once the contract is up, then okay, let's like negotiate that shit. But no, like you can't like while you're in a contract, oh, I think I should get some ownership in this. I mean, like this ain't a good time to talk about that, but okay. Like, oh, I think this, or I like nah, like you signed a contract, and at that, you had ample opportunities to make your own brand. You could have your own YouTube page, you could have did this, you could have did that, but you didn't. You were lazy. You were lazy.
how many
But now
times
all of
have
a
he
sudden
bucked
you
on
want
his
it.
contract?
What do you mean?
How many times has Joe Budden bucked on his contract?
I he never. Well, other than music, I don't know about the music stuff. But not
Yeah,
only that,
music style. How many times?
music, I don't know. But Complex, his contract went out. Spotify, he put when his contract out. He never left on a contract.
Yeah, he never left.
When it's come
Half the time.
his post music career, he's never done it. He's just ran
Okay,
his contracts out and
so
then left.
but I'm saying like he said, like I mean like you say, he's new to this. They're new to this whole entire contract bullshit. So you know what I'm saying?
No,
So I put blame in both parties, but more so for Joe because I don't fuck with the way that you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be like publicly bad mouthing the nigga I know when I
I,
can just call him and have a conversation. Be like, look, we're gonna have this.
they clearly already had the
No,
conversation.
no. We're gonna have this conversation publicly so people can hear both sides of the
They
fucking story.
did on the episode that was cringe.
Man, no, that wasn't the real talk. That was for the cameras and shit.
Then
I'm
what are
talking
you
about
asking for?
no, I'm talking about Joe should have kept that same energy he had in this podcast when they saw him in real life.
I agree with that. But at the time, this he's probably just now finding out. They just hit him up. From my understanding, they just hit him up that day. Like, we're not coming in unless you see the numbers type shit. So that's where that anger came from. He's like, oh nah, y'all not gonna come in
He
today.
did the same thing to
Okay.
Spotify.
No,
He
nah.
did the same numbers.
Yeah, but he played his contract out. What he wanted to see the numbers, yeah, but he played his contract out. He
Well,
didn't just stop coming to work.
all I'm saying is I don't agree with that man.
The only thing I think there are times where on the money side he seems hypocrite. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. On the money side, he comes across as a hypocrite because yeah, it's like you said, you can't preach. Oh, I got to see the
Ownership.
numbers. Yeah, or Complex, I need to see the numbers. Spotify, I need to see the numbers. But then Rory goes, I want to see the numbers. Whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I
Calm
understand.
down.
That is
Calm the
like,
fuck
yeah, you come
down.
across as a hypocrite. But at the same time, it's like from the whole like if you look at it just from the grand scheme of things, like I mean, is he really wrong? Like I said, how he goes about it, maybe like I would do some things a little different, but in the grand scheme of things, he's not wrong.
Mm, I think, but that's me though.